stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's no one in the back. No guy in the back.
Where's Danny? They want the AC. AC. It's too hot.
You can always come here and just...
You good? You need me? I
know what you need.
Was there anybody else out there with
I would like to advise those present that notice of this regular meeting of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken has been provided to the public in accordance with provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act. Notice of this regular board meeting of Thursday, May 14, 2026 was given by publication of the annual meeting notice of the authority with amendments as necessary and sent to the Star Ledger as a public notice on Tuesday, May 5th, as notifications to the general public of the meeting. Sent to the City Clerk of Hoboken on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026, with a copy of the agenda to be posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, Hoboken Library, and Hoboken Police Department, and posted on the authority website on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. I direct the minutes of this meeting to state that I have announced that adequate notice of this meeting has been given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act. Director, please call.
I'll call the roll. David Edwards. Present. Anthony Forbes. Barbara Reyes.
Present.
Jean Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Erica Seitzman.
Present.
Matthew Testa.
Present.
Carmen Vega.
Excuse me.
You're
Carmen, you're
muted.
muted.
You're muted. She's waiting at us. Carmen, you have to unmute so we can hear you.
He's frozen now.
Yeah, now she's frozen. I think she's trying to say you're muted, Carmen. You have to unmute. Can we unmute her?
I gotta go.
Carmen, they're doing the roll call.
I gotta go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we can.
Oh,
So,
So it's
okay. We're gonna start there. Over there. We were sitting, okay.
Commissioner, it's the roll call.
can you?
Present.
Thank you.
Present, present.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Commissioner.
You're welcome. What do you mean? What do you mean, Jeannie?
You can start yours.
Okay. Ready to start my report?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Chairperson.
Yes.
I would like to start by saying that I would like to suspend one of the resolutions. The resolution to adopt a new authority personnel policies and procedure manual. It's 2026-05.07, and I would like to suspend consideration of that for tonight to bring to a later meeting.
Yeah, unless there's any issue, you can just make a note of that when you get to it. You don't even have to introduce it.
Okay.
Thank you. So, my report. First, and I think foremost,
Guys, I'm going to ask everybody in the audience to please keep it down.
we've had a couple of great events this month. One is the person among us that was awarded the Senior of the Year Award for Hoboken, nominated by our mayor and awarded at just a wonderful function with a lot of great people, and we're so proud of her. And Doris Oliver, would you please just stand up and let everyone recognize? Doris, you do so much for us and for everyone in Hoboken, and it was just moving. It was a great, it was huge, and people from all over Hudson County were there and giving their appreciation to you, and we certainly appreciate you, and we're so proud that you live with us. Yeah, you're right here, so thank you, Doris. And the other thing I'd like to note is we did get a certificate of appreciation from the HOPES program. They had their annual appreciation dinner, and we did get an award saying appreciated for all of the work we do with the HOPES program, and of course we bounce it right back to them about all the work they do for our residents day in and day out. Everyone knows them and what they do, so it was a good month and some great regards there. On to my report. A litigation personnel committee was held on May 11th to discuss the proposed adoption of the new personnel policy, and again I have asked to suspend that for the night. We'll be back to you on that. Another thing that was talked about there was the possibility that we're looking at on some of our pay scales that we discussed. We're going to turn back to the Finance Committee and the Personnel Committee on that, and some issues regarding some concerns about making sure that our staff kept up with appropriate dress codes, and I want to assure you we're addressing that issue with the staff. Resident Services meeting was held on 4/23. We did a lot of talking about planning and what's going to be accomplished for our myriad of events coming up this spring and summer. You'll hear a lot about that from Becky when she does her report. We did review also something that's going to be shared with you, a recent survey, and we'll be reporting on that as well. From that Resident Services meeting, anything else that any member of that committee would like to bring up? Not. The Finance Committee met on April 30th. I have my report May 30th. I'm ahead of myself. It's been a busy week.
There will be a May 30th meeting.
Yeah, that's right. Emma and I were laughing about that actually. To discuss a range of issues on budgeting and financial reports. Anyone from that committee or Emma, would you like to bring up anything else that was talked about at that meeting?
No, it was just a regular monthly update on the financials, and it got combined with the capital improvements and redevelopment meeting, but nothing to highlight.
Thank you. We did have a security meeting on May 6th. A really, really good meeting, I thought.
Very.
Yeah, Chief Agrar, the sergeants were there, and we thank them for their special attention that they've been paying to us. As you may have read in the news, some major drug busts have been made at the Housing Authority very recently. So we thank them for that. A number of arrests. We've really increased our coordination with the police on enforcing our ban list of individuals that are banned from coming onto our properties. The HPD continues to have high visibility on our sites. We talked about coming events and how they might help us at those events, and they're just cooperating very, very well. They show up. Got a couple of guys in the back there that are usual that help us out just to make sure everything stays as it should. We did review our proposed trespassing policy in depth with the officers and with the chief. In addition, and they're very, very supportive of where we're heading with that. HPD has also asked us to install further no trespassing signs. And what they asked us to do at Andrew Jackson is essentially get them on every face of every building. So on every outside wall, our regular no trespassing signs, rather than maybe just one in front of the building, it's going to help them to have them on every side. So we're actually installing those now. They're going up. We had to order a few more, but they're going up. Resident concerns from the last meeting. And we were at Fox Hill. A resident there requested more flowers and plants be provided at Fox Hill. And I've heard that from about every senior site that we have. And we have. We've done a delivery planting with the help of many residents of planting. We have a little more to do before it's over. We've got some more bulbs and seeds that maybe as soon as the board meeting keeps Frank and I are the gardeners. As soon as that's over, we'll be out there this coming week and doing some bulbs and seeds for some other places. I think it's a very economical way of making our sites much more attractive. And it's really cheap, and it's really a great thing. Most of them will come back every year. So once we get them going, we'll have them every year. So that's been happening. I should also note that we finally got to a point of getting enough dirt over here. We had a shipment this week of dirt for what we're planning on being the Memorial Garden right here at 221. And our intention there that it will be the Aaron Community Garden, Memorial Garden, but the feature will also be that anyone at the Housing Authority that wants to commemorate a loved one or somebody that passed that lived here will be able to put a small plaque up for every single person that you would like to have up there. And we'll purchase that and get it done and put it up there. So once that's done, we'll have a little opening ceremony and we'll do the procedure for how we go about that. Frank and I will be planning this coming week, and we'd like to give it maybe 30 days for the blossoms to happen and for it to look good before we have that. Over at Fox Hill, Michael McElhaney, a veteran and valued member, he was the vice president of the resident council there, passed away. Just before we met last month, we all grieved together for our good friend Mike. In his honor, there will be a ceremony next Thursday, the 21st, at 2:00 p.m. at Fox Hill, for those of you that knew and love Michael. A resident inquired why they have not been transferred from a studio. We did check. They are on the waiting list and awaiting their transfer. A resident asked, and some folks might want to pay attention to this, why charges are so high for repairs. I have attached in my board report for the board the list of charges that we use. This list of charges has been around for quite a while. We go by that list of charges, and we pass on the actual cost from the Housing Authority to do those repairs. So we're updating that to current standards. It was also noted that wear and tear should be considered, and it is. The answer is that if we do when appropriate. If there's wear and tear on a door, and your teenager still sticks his hand through the door or kicks it in, you don't get compensated for wear and tear on that door. That door has to be replaced. But on things that may have had wear and tear, we do take that into consideration. If anybody thinks they were charged for anything unfairly, please go see your manager. We adjust those regularly. If our maintenance guys make a wrong charge, go see your manager with it, and we'll sit down and talk to you. We made a couple appointments on that over time, and it works. A resident noted that she had a problem with floor tiles. We have inspected that unit. I did leave off a sentence from my report. They've been inspected and found to be up to our standards. We have submitted 2 applications, the City of Hoboken requesting CDBG funds for this coming year. One is a Fox Hill security cameras on each floor and funds for roof replacement at Fox Hill. The roof needs to be replaced at Fox Hill. We await word from the city on those. Again, if that doesn't happen for any reason, we think it will, but if it doesn't happen, we will find other means to pay for it. But it's, we'll certainly make it happen. But it's great if we can get this money. That then frees up money for us to do some other improvements out of our capital fund money. Out of that money from Monroe Gardens, the installation of fence and gates back on this parking lot back here. So we're going to make that happen. And outsider parking is an issue here. People walking their dogs is an issue that don't belong here. So we hope to get that up. And by the way, yes, we're going to have the company out and make sure all the gates are working like at Adams. I understand it has been working, so we're making that happen. A laundry card has been installed at the main office. So if you remember, we didn't have one at the main office, but we had one over at our laundry at Andrew Jackson that was vandalized and torn down. So people were having to come here to recharge their cards, and that was an issue coming here all the time. So folks that were coming here that might live at Andrew Jackson or Harrison, you can now stop at the main office again and have your laundry card recharged.
God bless you, Barbara.
We are in the process of hiring 2 new positions. We've done some interviewing this month. But if you know somebody that wants to apply, please encourage them to come in and apply. We're putting out an ad. We haven't had it out on the street yet for an assistant to the CFO and an assistant to Yesenia, the Director of Management. A HUD Inspire inspection was held at Harrison Gardens, and we're working on getting the final results from HUD on that inspection. I would like to mention eviction issues, because that has come up, and I did put a paragraph here. At the last couple of meetings, it came up of why, when it's reported to us, is that person still there? I get it, right? You know, there may have been a problem. That individual may have caused a problem in the building. Maybe or maybe not, the police were involved. But we must understand, as a landlord, it takes 3 to 4 months to actually get possession of a unit. First, we got to get the evidence, right? It's not somebody telling us that this person misbehaved. We have to have concrete evidence. We have to get in front of a judge and say, this judge is why we're taking away this person's apartment. It's a serious issue. I mean, when you get in front of a judge and you're saying, I want to take this person's apartment away, that judge is saying, why? And you better have evidence. That's a good thing, right? You don't want me to walk in and just say, we had an argument last week, Jeannie. I want you out, right? You got to prove it. And sometimes that's harder said than done, but we're working on those hard. And in the example that was used, and the concern at Fox Hill, for example, they were frustrated that the person was still there. Due to confidentiality, I can't advertise all the time what we're doing in court. So within a week, we got possession of that unit. And they were locked out this past week. So we had been working on this for 4 months. We got to the judge. He gave us possession of the unit. In this example, the resident went back to the judge and pleaded for an extension of a couple of weeks, and the judge granted an extension before we could lock the apartment. You know, again, it's not something I put on our website, but that happens. So when I told folks we're moving, it should be soon, and then we get an extension, but we're working on them. We are. So please get in touch with me if you're frustrated with one. If you've got information, please pass it on to your managers. Understand that we need to go to court with that evidence, and it sometimes takes a bit. And but we jump on them as fast as we can. And I know it's difficult sometimes when somebody's in a building and the neighbor had a meeting this morning with the resident, a neighbor across the way is causing issues. But we've got to find the video, we've got to go through that, we've got to find some police reports before we can even take it in front of that judge. So we work on them, and they're working well, but it takes some time. And that's certainly an issue it's a national issue at senior and disabled units. This is a senior and disabled building, right? HUD funds us to run this building as a senior disabled building. And the federal law says if you're disabled, you have a right to live here. And if you're 30 and disabled, physically, mentally, whatever the reason is, you're allowed occupancy. If your name comes up on the waiting list, etc. And we do a criminal check, and it turns out that there's no criminal charges there. We have to house them by law. So I know it's an issue, and I know it's a hard issue sometimes. Now, other times, I mean, we've got people that are in their 20s and 30s living in a senior disabled unit, and they're wonderful. People love them. They do. And then, now and then you get that person that's a real issue, and we understand it, and we try our best with you to make that happen. But we need to work with the police. We need to work with your managers. We are a landlord. We're not the police. We can't find people. We can't drive them out of their apartments. We can't do any of that. What we can do is go toward an eviction, somebody that reaches that standard, right? I am now going to turn this over to Mr. Merchant to give us some details on where we are with Hoboken Forward One Urban Renewal. I will say that we had a great meeting last night. For those of you that attended what was our first meeting in quite a while on our redevelopment plan that all the community was invited to. We had 200? We had a lot of people. We had a lot of people there. Hoboken residents, Housing Authority residents, professionals from Hoboken, Hoboken elected officials, from the mayor to the council people. We presented where we are on our plans and where we are on the redevelopment plans. And I really give kudos to Frank for pulling this presentation together. I think it was very clear, and I've gotten a lot of positives about it. So, Frank?
Thank you, Director. Thank you to all of you. A lot of you were able to make it yesterday. And for those who were not there yesterday, I want to give you a little bit of the flavor of what was there. Over here, you can see the drawings. I know that most of you have been to so many of the meetings where we're talking about what the next steps are and where we are in the process. But this is the first time you get to see the actual building, and that was the purpose of this presentation. As we've told you before, the parking lot at Harrison Gardens is where we're going to do the first build. And the whole reason that we are able to do this move first is because we have this property which will eliminate the need of someone being displaced in between. A lot of other projects and housing authorities, when they go to do their redevelopment, they have to give vouchers to the families to move out. And that's where you hear about this right to return that comes up, right? Of course, because of the program that we're doing, which is RAD Section 1811, it's a right for you to have the right to return. But better than that, you're not going to need that right, because we're going to move you directly into the newly built unit. That will kick off a series of events, which will mean once the families move in, then we can take down the buildings that they came from and start the process all over. And every one of those steps will be coming to you guys, sharing where we are in the process. Something that came up in the meeting yesterday was, and I want to be clear with everyone, this is only phase one of potentially 10 phases, right? So each phase is going to have its own process where we're going to have to select a developer partner. We're going to have to decide on where we're coming from and what we're doing with each. So you'll be involved in every step. But if there's a few little pictures that we're just going to show just what was there. But yes, a lot of our commissioners, a lot of city officials came. We did it at the Boys and Girls Club. My hope is that with each community meeting that we do, we get a little bit more people and a little bit more people, but I understand it's tough, and there's so many events that we're doing. But for those who come out, and even tonight when you come out, I really appreciate your time, because I know it's tough. Everybody has a commitment to do so. As far as where we are going next, so the update on the redevelopment is we're working with the city on the RDA, which is the redevelopment agreement. That allows us to move into the planning board stages and start to secure some of the funding. The funding part is the last little piece before we get to the actual breaking of ground, which should happen sometime next year, hopefully as soon as we can get there. And then once we get going, we're on the run. So thank you for participating. We'll keep going. I don't know that we can take questions right now, but I know that you signed up. So I will.
What is about this though?
Yeah.
You can ask questions during public portion.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's fine. But I will, whatever question you have, I will get you personally, if not make part of your thing. So, welcome to the new commissioner, and congratulations, Chairman, for getting reappointed. So,
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate all your work. Moving on project-based vouchers, no significant changes in this area with the VASH vouchers we have. I should say, though, on our Section 8 voucher program, that HUD has told us that we cannot issue any new vouchers. We're stuck. Now, this wasn't passed by Congress, but it was passed from the current administration right now, right? Yeah. So that's what's there. We can't do any new project-based projects by the same token. Now, this may be temporary, and it could completely go away when this administration goes away, or sooner, but I don't know, right? But that's our orders right now from HUD. That's our marching orders, and we've got to go by that right now. On resident meetings with the director, as I always say, come and see me if you want. You know, I have many meetings, probably had 8 of them this month, and I do our quarterly meetings, but come up and sign up for an intake. Most of you have my cell phone number directly that rings right here, and many of you use it, so feel free to do that. As I usually do, I'll leave some cards out after the meeting too, if anyone wants to take one of my cards. But my cell phone's a great way to reach me. I love to text, by the way. Fox Hill Management Report, Housing for Hoboken's next trustees meeting. We'll meet next on June 4th. The current round of capital improvements is underway at Fox Hill. We did get our first delivery of storm doors. They were on order for quite a while. They're there, and installation will be starting on that improvement at Fox Hill. We are developing that new plan for the next round of capital improvements with the architects and with the Fox Hill residents. We'll be bringing that to all of you once it gets a little more concrete. On our special projects report, it's our attachment 4 on my report, and I'm going to take a moment with that. Because we've talked for a long time on our dumpster containerization project. We're just waiting for those to be delivered. They're telling us they'll be delivered any time now. They've been under construction. They arrived in a warehouse in early June, but they're still in Connecticut, so they're coming our way. And once that is done, you will start to see them out to be replacing our dumpsters at Harrison and Andrew Jackson. Significant rodent control improvement, and we're really looking forward to that. We do have our bathtub replacement project going on, so we have a remaining 14 bathtubs under that contract. We've done 18 already in the couple months since we've approved that, so we continue with that. I mentioned the Fox Hill door. We did a window and glass repair that I believe is in front of you tonight, in front of the board. Boiler replacements at 320 Jackson and 300 Marshall have been completed. We've got, I believe, 6 more. How many more do we have in this contract, you know?
6 more, yes.
6 more. We have 6 more that are already funded by the CDBG. And as I probably mentioned later, though, that gets us to 8 locations of boilers remaining that do not have a double boiler system. Our systems are 2 boilers at each site, So in case one boiler goes down, the other boiler kicks in. Thank goodness it hasn't happened in a while. It happened once since I've been here, that we had to bring in an auxiliary boiler. So we're going to be looking for funding over this year to get the next 8 boilers done, and then we will have a double boiler system in each and every location. This has been a long-term project to actually get through all of these. You know, we have 23 boiler rooms and 46 boilers. So, wow, and they're not cheap. So we've been working our way through them. Adams Gardens, the picnic area renovation, folks from Adams, is going to be going in the papers on May 18th. The bid documents are done. We've got that area at Adams, that concrete benches in the area, that's just a mess back there. So we're going to have that complete area renovated with the new benches, etc., and the concrete pad. Roof replacement, bid is going in the papers again on May 18th. We need a new roof at 655 6th Street. That's going to hit the papers shortly. Future projects, we're working on specs for ADA compliant roll-in showers. I have been out to the resident advisory board leaders to get back to us with anyone and anyone else that knows somebody that needs a roll-in shower, right? That you can't, your tub's got to, you can't get in and out of the tub. So come to your manager, contact me. We'll get those on the list. What we're doing is we're bidding it out. So we're going to bid that out for the folks that need it, and then we're going to bid some extras out in that contract. So if somebody comes in 6 months from now, we can just snap our fingers and say, contractor, go there, because we already have a set price and we've already got the best bid on that. So that's going to be bid shortly. We're preparing those specs right now, so I'm really looking forward to that. So again, talk to your neighbors. If you've got something, come to your manager and say, look, these are people, my friends, or these are who I know, or yourself, that needs the roll-in shower, and we'll make that happen for you. Again, you know, by the time we bid, get somebody in, it'll be 3 or 4 months by the time we do it, but we're on it. We're bidding out our enhanced pest control services that I've talked about before. It's in the planning phase. It will be bid. We are looking at the Harrison Gardens parking lot relocation is what we're talking about here. When we build the building on the Harrison Gardens parking lot, what happens to all the cars that are parked there? All right? Good question, right? So what we're doing is we're identifying other areas on our campus that we can create parking spots. We're identifying how many people are parked there, how many parking spots we'll need. We are paying special attention to anyone that's a disabled individual that needs parking close to the building. So we're not ignorant of that. We'll get them close to the building so they don't have to go far. I think we know our solution on that. We're working it out with the architects right now. So we're going to be taking over some areas for parking. And again, that's because if we start construction next summer, right, which is our basic plan, that those folks are going to have to move their cars someplace. So we want to get this done now. So when next summer comes, we've got parking for everyone, suitable parking, and we're set. So that's coming up. Disabled, again, disabled handicapped folks are a priority there. We are working with Fox Hill on Phase 3. We are working on a revised call box system for all of our sites. We're getting the plans done. We're looking, we understand there's been some problems with our call box systems. When people ring up and you try to ring them in, there's been some issues. So we've had an analysis. We figured out what's going on. That's wrong. It's an old system, and it doesn't translate over to digital very well. And it's just not working because it goes from fiber to digital to the new fiber, and it gets whacked through there. So that's a technical term, whacked, right, for you engineers? Yeah. So we're working on that right now. We hope to have that done soon. We are going to be working on replacing the awnings at Christopher Columbus Gardens. Those awnings, as you walk out the doors, are a mess. Wonderful people are throwing cigarettes from up above and stuff, and they land on the awnings, and it looks like a planetarium when you look up. So our future boiler replacements, I mentioned earlier. So that's the special projects coming up section. By the way, I think I messed up the numbering on the on some of the. In my report it says attachment 3. It's really attachment 4. Our management report, it's really attachment 6, not 5. Management report snapshot is attached. Yesenia or Frank, who work on this together?
Yeah, we met through the finance committee. The report that you guys have there, I made it a little bit bigger. I know that it's the same exact report that we went through. It's just a little bit easier on the eyes. So we were able to go through the dashboard for the finance committee that we've attached the snapshot only because that was done the exact day that the end closed. So there was some minor adjustments here that you'll see, especially under the warrants pending, 10 and 1 instead of what was in that report. So that will be caught up by next month. That's why she attached this the snapshot, because I know we're moving to this new format. But more importantly, I think something that is coming up that Yesenia and her team, along with the managers, are going to send information to the residents explaining the procedure of how we allocate the money when they pay every month. I think what's been happening, and there's a little bit of confusion, and we just want to be very clear. So if someone is in a repayment agreement, whether it be in-house or court-ordered, they still also have their rent to pay, right? So what I believe is folks are doing their best with what they have. So if, let's say, to use a rounded number, that their rent is 100 and their repayment is 100, but they might only have 150. So when they're sending that money, if the repayment agreement is not covered, unfortunately that repayment agreement for that month is in default, even if it was a half of it, like we didn't collect the full amount. So what we want to make sure is that everybody understands what it takes to stay current with that repayment, so that they know that and what day the cutoff is going to be. We're going to coordinate with Level's team on the day that they charge the month, so that before that they charge the month, we can have, just like we're doing at the finance committee, that we're using the 30th or the last day of the month, the cutoff for repayments, so that we can track that, will be the day that they charge the month. That way we can have a good rent roll of repayments ahead of the month. That way what we'll present to you in the future is going to be that difference of the rent roll of what was supposed to be charged for repayment agreements as opposed to what actually was paid that month. So I think that is the biggest piece that is missing from our view right now. We have all these numbers and the numbers are working, but the final step is to really be able to say, okay, this month we were supposed to collect 52 repayments, we collected only 52, have to immediately go to the top of the pile, and those will be folks that already have a court order agreement, so they would go to the top of your pile. Jimena and crew would send information to Matt to say, these are kind of like, I hate the term fast track, because we don't want to fast track someone into eviction, that's not the point, but because they've already been in court, this is where we would go next. So I think that's going to be a really good addition to this. We're going to exclude the names from it, so that to make it private, because I know this is part of the report, but you will be able to have a number of repayment agreements, a dollar amount, and then how many repayment agreements were actually canceled that month, which will then give you the full picture. We've, in the one that we review in the finance committee, we've gotten to the point that we're able to distinguish the 90 days, which was a good step in what we were trying to achieve. But I know that we can still take that last leap with that. But other than that, occupancy remains at 95% at public housing, 97% at Fox Hill. There are some lockouts that you will be seeing moving forward. So that's going to change some of the occupancy numbers. And we're going to start to now struggle with that part, right? But with the understanding that then we get those units, we have to get them ready, we have to, after the sheriff comes and locks the family out, if they get their things out, if not, there's a period that we have to wait. So the occupancy moving forward might start to reflect the court actions. Up to this point, it had not really. We've been going to court and entering into repayment agreements. We're in the next stage, which is those repayment agreements have now begun to default, and we're going to unfortunately take the next step. So that's where we are with that. I don't know if anyone has any questions on that, but thank you, Jasenia. I know that you've been working really hard with your team, and thank you for the finance committee, to help us get to the point where it's easier to see it and understand it for everybody.
Thank you. I attach a combined maintenance report and attachment 5. In the past, I've given you all of these as separate reports, but I just combined them this time with the elevator, the extermination, and the plumbing reports. Finance, our consolidated operating budget statements through December 31st, January 31st are attached. These statements were reviewed at the Finance Committee. In addition, Finance is working on the Housing Choice Voucher budgets, assignments as requested by the Finance Committee and Housing for All Board of Trustees, the CDBG funding, and our fiscal year audit as amended and approved by you has been approved by HUD with a small issue that will have to work out. We submitted the audit, and then we asked it to be retracted to make a small adjustment, and they said that we hadn't submitted the audit because we retracted it. So we're talking to them, and I think they're open. By the way, they have agreed, they want to come see us sometime toward the end of May with the field office and the regional director from HUD, which is great news. I mean, really great news. And so they've agreed that we're going to sit around the table when they come and see how well we're doing at everything, because we've never been late on this, and our field office understands that. And so I think we're going to get some relief on that, but I've been talking to HUD about it. So that's that thing on the audit. Resident services, Sandra, you want to give us an update? We did that survey.
Right here.
Sandy Balinas, Public Policy. So these are the results of the survey that we did. The survey was open for like 3 months, and we finally closed it out, and so these are the results. I think we have it up there. So one of the questions that I asked was, what type of events or services would you like resident service to offer? So that it came up that they wanted wellness programs. So wellness programs has a list of different things that we could be offering. Some of the things we are already offering you for wellness, but the list goes on. Mental health, on-site support with wellness rooms or quiet meditation and stress reduction. It could be fitness opportunities with fitness, virtual fitness classes. There are some fitness classes going on at Fox Hills, maybe not at every site, but there are some things going on already. Preventive care, this I know, actually today we had an event today for screenings, blood pressure and cholesterol, I believe it was right at this site in Adams, so I know that some of the things are already going on. Nutritional support as well, financial literacy. I know that from time to time they do some seminars with regards to debt management or retirement planning and so on and so forth. Also, there's another thing on wellness that could be done is group volunteering for example, like I think this is something that might be going on a group of volunteers go and do the planting of the flowers that we got, so that, you know, that there's a community engagement that can be happening in mentorship programs and so on and so forth. I just wanted to explain a little bit about the, you could go back to the other slides, to the previous slides. I wanted to explain the wellness, what the wellness program, right? Because the wellness program has a lot of things in it, so I just wanted to explain a little bit. If you go to the next slide, so this was just an open-ended question. By the way, 31 people responded to the survey, so just thank you to the 31 that responded, right? Thank you. So this is an open-ended question. Given the limited funds that we have allocated to resident services, what other services would you like to see? Now, the portion that's in gray, it's like things that either we're currently doing or they didn't say much. So I just put them together, they grayed out. The orange one talked about tenant rights, painting signs, upgraded entry doors. Has nothing to do with resident services, but I wanted to put it out there, right? Because people are thinking about these things. The blue one, I think might have been residents from CCG, I think it is, the one on 8th and 9th Street, right? They were the ones that were saying that I guess there's not a lot going on that side, so that was there. And then on the green one at the bottom, I know it's very hard to see from the screen that you see over there, but the green, they talked about, what about paying the rent electronically? Again, it has nothing to do with resident service, but I thought it was a good point to keep it out there, so something for maybe another department to start looking into that, right? Then the next slide, if you go to the next slide, again, this is a continuation of that. There were like many different little things here, and like they talked about like what you offer: swimming, online streaming, community meetings, and so on. So this is just a list of all the others that probably these were like a one-off. So if we go to the next slide, these are, besides what we're currently offering you, like bingo, movie nights, pastoral care, food pantry, what other services do you want us to provide, or what are other suggestions? Again, what's in gray, it's like there were 12 people that had no responses, all of the above, so those really they're not saying much. Then the one in pink, they said better security, again, nothing to do with resident services, but we put it out there. And then the one in blue, which was the common theme, they talked about the food pantry. Some mentioned that the food pantry has barely anything good. Others said, why don't you bring the food pantry to my building? Because I think the food pantry is only on this building, right? So maybe the other buildings were saying, bring it to our building. We could use our food pantry at Fox Hill, right? And so on and so forth, right? And on the last slide, if you go to the next one, so it's a continuation of that same question. I don't know who does bingo, but it talks about someone is saying that they like to have snacks that are better or more healthier during the bingo. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? During supper, because bingo is held during supper, so have something that's healthier, right? That's what they were saying. And the one in yellow, I think is on the next slide. I'm talking the next slide. There you go. Thank you. So one other thing that they mentioned is to advertise more. Again, nothing to do with resident service. That's actually my job, but I guess I need to do better. So that's a good point for me. Thank you. Thank you for whoever mentioned that. Thank you very much. And then on the last slide, one more down. One more down. The next slide. If you go to there you go, pick it up there. Yep. There you go, thank you. So this is for the family buildings, right? What services would you like to see for families? And it was 45% of respondents said educational, recreational, and lifestyle programs tailored to young people and families. So these are the results, and we already discussed this with the resident service committee, right? I think it was sometime last month. So, and then Becky already knows this information because she's part of that committee too. So, that's my part. Thank you very much. I'm just going to say
Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome.
And we've been over these in detail, and we take them seriously.
Yes.
You know, as you know, we rely on nonprofit partners for a lot of our services. We're not funded to do these programs, wellness programs, etc. We carve out some out of our operating budget. That's, you know, Becky and some of the things we provide for the parties, the dinners, the food we do, and all of that type of thing. But we're not in business to do an educational program. That's not our forte. Now, when the schools can come in and do an educational program, when we can have the karate program, when we can have the things that Hopes puts on for our youth, our role is to facilitate that and try to get those nonprofits in. And we do that, and we'll continue to do that, and we'll go to them with these messages to say these are the types of programs we would like to have. And we'll continue to look for grants and continue to try to make those happen as time goes by. So thank you, Sandra. Resident Services, Ms. Becky, as the final section of my report. Ms. Becky, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys? Good evening.
Good evening.
Hope I can help. Hoboken Housing Board meeting, Resident Services Report, Thursday, May 14th, 2026. Elderly disabled housing units, activities and events for Monroe Gardens, Adams Gardens, and Foxville Gardens. In Monroe Gardens, we have bingo on Tuesdays at 6 p.m., food pantry every other Friday at 8 a.m., Dr. Polissima, podiatrist, once a month, St. Peter Christian Church, Sundays at 9 a.m., and exercise classes, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. In Adams Gardens, we have bingo on Mondays and Thursdays at 7 p.m., Dr. Polissima, podiatrist every other month, Tune In Together on Fridays at 2 p.m., and movie matinee monthly at 1 p.m. In Foxville Gardens, we have bingo on Wednesdays at 7 p.m., pastoral care on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m., Dr. Polissima, podiatrist every other month, movie night Fridays at 7 p.m., and band-resistant exercise classes Wednesdays and Fridays at 10 p.m. Family housing units, activities and events for Andrew Jackson Garden, Harrison Garden, and Christopher Columbus Garden. For adults, we have bingo at the Annie Forbes Community Room on Fridays at 6 p.m. and in Christopher Columbus Garden Community Room on Fridays at 7 p.m. Pastoral care in the Harrison Gardens Community Room on Fridays at 7 p.m. Trending into a New Life in the Harrison Gardens Community Room every other Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and Different Minds, One Community at the Harrison Gardens Community Room monthly. For kids, we have Street Life Ministries breakfast program at the Monroe Gardens Community Room on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 6:30 a.m. 10 Reasons at the Harrison Gardens Community Room on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Amazing Truth Society homework help at the Annie Forbes Community Room on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. and Amazing Truth Society karate program at the Annie Forbes Community Room on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Resources. Subscribe to Nixle and stay ahead. Register today by scanning the QR code with your phone. You can stay up to date with maintenance issues, event announcements, updates, and important advisories. Hope's Food Pantry, fresh by Ajama Cafe, free produce, bi-weekly, Thursdays at 11:30 a.m., located at the Harrison Gardens Community Room. Please scan the QR code for more information. Hoboken Community Center Pantry Distribution Schedule. please sign up for Nixle and get more information regarding the schedule. Past events. Hoboken Housing Board meeting.
All right, Becky, are you finished?
Also, I just want to let everybody know that we place flyers on every chair of some events that we have going on. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can call the main office or call my cell phone or speak to your manager if you have any questions. That's it.
Thank you, Becky. Great
You're
work.
welcome.
Great work. And I want to thank you for not putting up any video of me dancing at the masquerade. I really appreciate that. But,
No problem.
and what a great party the masquerade party was. Lou, Sandra, you guys did a great job. I just want to say, as I finish my report, that I have really seen the last year resident councils stepping up, right?
Absolutely.
And Jeannie, you're having these ice cream socials, people are coming down more, and this is resident councils. It's not us all the time, right? You're making it happen. The masquerade thing was spearheaded by the resident council. It was made to happen. The breakfasts, I know we've got the program with Urban Forms that's going on, but also we've got folks just coming down. Coming down at Fox Hill, it's amazing. People bringing donuts and stuff in the mornings. And that's really the key of the community starting to come together as a community. So we all do that, make that happen, and I can't tell you how proud I am to see that happening. And I really sensed that it's starting to crank up. Right? You guys are doing a great job out there. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. So we will now move on to public portion. I would just like to remind everyone that you have 5 minutes to speak. There is not a back and forth, as you all know that. The director will take notes on your concerns, and he will get back to you whether it's today or speak after the meeting. And I just ask that everyone please speak respectfully to each other. We're going to start with Shana Walker.
Sit down.
Sorry, I have a headache. I had dialysis today. First, my name is Shana Walker. I live at 501 Marshall Drive, apartment 2A. I'm here to talk about, first thing, them dogs. I still don't see nothing being done about these dogs. These pit bulls are still walking around here with kids walking them. On the property, doodling, it stinks so bad in front of my building. The pee and the doodle, and I see them come out there and not pick it up, even people from my building. I'll be telling them too, come on now, come on now. And then they let them go, they open the door, let them go, and kids are out there playing, we out there standing there. My mom is terrified of dogs, that's why she don't even want to come by my building, that end, because she's afraid of dogs. And it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse with these dogs. They get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's terrible. And then they have the kids walking them. And I don't know who that is that just moved in my building, but they got a Rottweiler and another big dog. I don't even know what that dog's name is. But the dog is bad, and the kids had him. And I said, excuse me, can you get your dog? And they're laughing because they're kids. You can't even say nothing to them. There's not the adults, it's the kids. They let the kids walk them and down, they all over the place. Second thing, there are people, unauthorized people that's not on nobody lease, and I know darn well they're not, living on my 7th floor. Sleeping in at night and coming out in the morning because I see them. And I come out late, when I leave for dialysis, I get up at 4, 3 times a week. So it's still dark when I come out my door. And my door, y'all know the A apartment is right by the back hallway. So I can't see, and this person been reporting, we thought the lady next door was crazy, but she's not crazy because he's been messing with people's doors. Messing with people's doors. I caught him by my door when I came out, because when I come out the elevator, I come like this, and my door is right there. I came out the elevator one day, he was standing by my door, and I said, what are you doing? Luckily, my neighbor's boyfriend came out and said, Shana, are you okay? Because he was there checking my door. And now I gotta be scared of when I come home by myself. I live by myself. Come home by myself. At night from my mom's house, sometimes 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And people by my door, checking doors. And again, our 501 door been broke since I don't know how long. And they still didn't fix it. That's why the people are coming in sleeping on that 7th floor. And it's terrible. It's terrible. It's just, it's getting worse and worse. And that park in the back too is just horrible. It's just the things are breaking down. The kids are still playing in it, but it's just horrible. And the thing about the door, I can't take that. Look, thank you, Barbara, the last time. People are not kicking that back door no more, or the front door. But now it's just broke. and it still didn't get fixed. So they're getting in anyway. So we don't hear no banging no more because they done broke the doors. Both the doors. And it's just horrible, it's just horrible. And my mom, y'all talked about that walk-in shower. My mother really needs one because she cannot get in the shower by herself. First of all, even for me, I don't know how them tubs are made, but I gotta lift all the way up in my place and I fell 2 times already. And my apartment, let's not go. Mr. Recco, I called you. My mom had called Barbara, but you didn't answer. But Mr. Recco, he answered. But that emergency number, I kept coming. Water was coming down like a faucet in my house. I have all these pictures and all this. And then when house maintenance came, I was so upset. Maintenance came, that lady, I think she got a washing machine on that 3rd floor. I don't know who lived up. Everybody keep asking, oh, you know who live above you? I don't know past that 2nd floor who live up there in the apartments. But my bathroom was horrible, horrible, horrible. Water coming down, mold everywhere, bubbles in my walls. In my second room, I have 2 bedrooms. That first room I was supposed to do dialysis, I can't even do home dialysis no more because there's mold so bad. The wall is coming off the thing. It's just horrible. I keep trying to get in touch with people, and it's just, I'm sorry. Maria, my manager, I don't know what she be doing, bro. You can't get in touch with her. She's always on vacation. She never answers the phone. I'm like, we don't need her. We need a new manager. Everybody, the whole building just told me, Shana, please tell them that Maria never does nothing. Because they know I come to the meeting because they can't come. But I talk about my building will not be put on the back burner. 501 should not be put on the back. It's like police don't patrol there. If they say they come there, they're lying. Because I will see no police in my building, monitoring the building, if there were no people living on the 7th floor.
Thank you, Ms. Law.
Thank you.
Adrian Rowland.
Last name is Rawlins. Tenants' rights is a part of resident services. Always has been, always will be. I thought there was no smoking in the buildings. That's never enforced. The RAD board meetings are supposed to be held open to the public, as it states on the website. Yes, I have the printout. And maybe some of these meetings can be held in the evening so that people that work can actually attend, because I don't like giving my information to someone else to relay, because the message usually never gets relayed correctly. So if I need something relayed, I probably would rather do it myself. And the door on 560 Marshall is not locking. Every other person that walks through the door, it'll lock, but then when someone leaves, it stays open. So it's constant. I leave in the morning, I'm not even pushing the bar, I'm pushing the door and it opens. I'm not pushing a button, I'm pushing the door, it opens. Same thing with coming home. All I gotta do is pull it, walk in the door. Not even use my ID to do it. Your maintenance list, it shows charges, but it also shows for labor. I'm not gonna pay for labor when they already get paid to do the job. I double and triple check that, and it shows labor charge next to the fee for whatever it is to be done. I'm not paying extra for that. And the new defiant trespass and ban policy, will the residents get a copy of that as part of a lease change? Because that's what that would be. We are supposed to sign it. And also, was it brought before the RAD board? Because things are supposed to go before the RAD board and tenants association before it's brought for a vote.
Yeah.
Thank you. Martinique Costa?
Martinique.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. No problem. Good evening, Chairman Reyes, Commissioners, Director Echo. My name is Martinique Costa. I'm Business Manager for Labor's Local 55. I'm here with our members Juan, Clyde, and Duran. You guys want to stand up? But we want to thank you this evening for voting and approving our new CBA. We've been working with Hoboken for many years, and we appreciate the relationship, and we look forward to, continuing this relationship. And I'd like to thank Jackie Medina and Alan. Jackie is amazing. She runs a tight ship. There is always clear communication as far as everyone's responsibilities. Materials are always there when we need them. And we have a very good working relationship between our members, full-time staff, and the residents here at the Housing Authority. So we want to thank you. We look forward to continue the relationship, and please let us know if we as laborers can do anything to support the Hoboken Housing Authority and the residents, because we're all partners together. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Manuel Rivera Soler.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Executive Director, members of the public. Thank you for attending this evening, Madam Chair. Before I start, I would just like to say I would like to recognize and acknowledge that May is, hold on, I lost my place, pardon me. I'm sorry for the transcriber. But May is Asian American Pacific Islanders Month, and I would like to wish all of those of Asian American Pacific Islanders heritage a happy celebrations, and we should always acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of this community to our country, our state, and our local neighborhoods. So I just want to acknowledge that. And Madam Chair, I just would like to say, again, would like to take a moment to once again congratulate you on your reappointment and I guess your re-election as chair. And I'm assuming Vice Chair is still Madam Vice Chair Seitzman. Congratulations to you again, your election, and to all of you. And I just want to say, I had a lengthy, it's not going to be 5 minutes, so I'm going to shorten it, because when I wrote it, I was a little bit, I'm going to say a little bit hot under the collar, but I don't want to say that directly because I don't want anybody to misinterpret. Those of us who want to be of service to the community, and sometimes when we apply and are not selected, again, it's not one person, it's for the community. So no one person should ever be offended or felt slighted, I would say, because it's for the public. So with that I say, Madam Chair, once again, to you see I'm a little emotional, to you I say once again, congratulations to those who were sworn in today for their first term. Congratulations to them. It's nothing personal, once again. You may have heard me get a little more emotional in the council meeting, but that was then, this is now. We accept and we move on, and we wish everyone of you the best in your future endeavors in this board. And we also hope that transparency and the willingness to serve is of paramount and always in front of all of your concerns when you deliberate and make the decisions, pardon me, that affect members of the public, members of the Housing Authority community. These are the people you serve. These are the people you ask the tough questions for. And they would always be grateful if you do ask these questions and are grateful stewards and responsible stewards of this, your solemn oath that you gave to them by being sworn in this evening. Again, it's hard for me to be not only today here, but in this actual building. But I will ask a few questions, and I might not be able to stay for all of it. As you can see, I keep getting more and more emotional. This was a building where my brother lived. Again, that's personal for me, but he's no longer with us, so I will be asking the question and perhaps leaving soon. But before I leave, I don't want to be remiss. I also want to state, although we didn't see eye to eye, we do appreciate the service of all those who willing to serve, so we want to also wish former Commissioner Sanford, thank you for your service and all the best to you in your future endeavors. And with that, Madam Chair, I just want to say, in this agenda this evening, 2026-05.04 and 2026-05.05, yeah. It's the same question basically. Again, it's just a purpose for clarifications and for a member of the public to understand a little further how these decisions are made. Is the increase in each of these resolutions, is it an increase that occurs yearly? Is it an increase that happens because the maintenance is doing extra work, or is it going to be a constant increase in either of these resolutions? These are just questions our members of the public are interested in knowing, and again, like I said before in my prior comments, just to keep everything above board and transparent, no nefarious intent in the question is meant. And with that, pardon me, I keep saying council because I think I'm in a council meeting, but with that, Madam Chair, I yield back and I thank you for your attention and the members of the public. Thank you.
Michelle Lissain.
Good evening, Michelle Lissain, 320 Harrison Street. I had a couple of questions, but I also want to make a statement. I went to my managers, it's not once, not twice, but several times, and phone calls, because the agency that we submit all our documents to, we give it to the managers, they send it over, we get another letter, send the documents. They said they already sent it. I said, well, why do they keep sending me these letters? So today I go to my mailbox and I get a letter saying notice to seize, and I see the lawyer's name where he signed at the bottom because I refused to supply the documents, Social Security letter, all that. I did all that. My daughter's pay stubs, her bank account, 6 months of her bank account statements, where was all this stuff? If we submitted it, where is all this stuff going that they keep asking for the same stuff over and over? I'm really tired of this already. I don't like this system whatsoever. I understand y'all all put this in plan, but it's not working. Something got to do. Because how you people keep sending the documents and they send it over and they don't have it. What are they doing with our stuff? These are our personal documents, bank statements, accounts, our social security number, identity. My kids and my identity have been compromised 3 times already. So how I know it's not being compromised now? Because now I'm getting notice to seize in the mail, and the lawyer signed the signature, because I didn't perform the documents, I didn't follow the guidelines, and I did so. And it's not fair, because somebody like me, I got a lot of stress on my back. I have my own issue and I have my mom issue, and I don't need to be coming home, sitting in my house, and I go to my mailbox and I'm getting letters like this. This is uncalled for. Like, y'all got to get a better system. This is not working. It's not working. Maybe you need to go back and re-examine what's going on, because if these papers are being sent and they have proof that they sent it over, how come y'all keep sending the same letter 5 different times? Maybe 6, who knows? And then I get this today, notice to seize. I'm very highly upset about this because it's not fair to me. I don't have time for this. I'm about to have my back surgery finally. I don't have time to be stressing about issues when I'm going to be in my bed on my back, worrying about all this other stuff. Can y'all please do something about it? get together with them. Y'all need to go, whatever y'all need to do, get on the cameras, whatever. Just get this stuff straightened out. So all of us, I'm not just speaking for myself because I hear the seniors, everybody talk about the same thing. Everybody, it cannot be wrong if we're talking about the same exact thing. We're complaining about the same exact thing. Now, the second thing I have a question of, this plan is new. I didn't go to respond to the meeting because I wasn't feeling well, but these are not the buildings that I've seen before, so I see the plan has changed. And I mean, that's what I wanted to ask you, Frank, because I'm like, when did this come about? Because that's not the ones that we had before. You know, because I have all the paperwork and stuff from before. So that's what I wanted to ask. But anyway, thank you. Can y'all please get up on that? Because I'm tired of it, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
That's right.
Patricia Waiters.
Pat Waiters, I'm gonna say something real quick before I get my chain of thought lost. You do have those walk-in tubs, right, Mr. Recco? The walk-in tub thing that you was talking about earlier? Y'all do have some in stock.
Again, we don't go back and forth.
No, I'm just asking real quick, so
Well,
I
I know
don't
you
have to
are, we
mention
don't go
that.
back and forth.
All right, I'll talk to
We
you.
already have some installed.
Thank you. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Okay, I'm gonna just stick to this. 5 things. I'm gonna make it real brief. And I want this abundantly clear because I'm a person that follow all policy procedures. I'm not politically connected with anyone. So when I say this, I'm saying it out how I feel. I don't bite my tongue for nobody. And it's not because my son is now one of you guys' tenants. Thank you so much, because you know I jumped through hurdles. I called Trenton. I accused everybody of tampering with the list, but I did my homework. Okay, so we in there because we did what was right, and I'm glad. Since then, I've been working with you, Mr. Recco. I gotta give you kudos. I really do. Because you know Patricia Waiters and accountability. I will hold you accountable. I don't care if you're Santa Claus. Okay, now let me just say this real quick. Repair, because these are some issues that tenants came to me that I'm trying to rectify before I go all crazy. Repairs versus repair charges. You guys use maintenance fees as part of your budget line items, okay? So what I want to know is how the tenants is getting charged. And that goes for my son, because I'm getting ready to put a work order in. Why is the tenants getting charged and it's being on there, and when I try to go get them help with their rent, they're not going to pay those fees. Those fees got to be lifted in order for me to get them help, because they only pay for rent when you go outside to get other people to help you with the rent. Okay, that's one thing. And I'm getting charges for tubs and doors and all of that, and maintenance fees, and that should be part of your budget. The food pantry, I seen that another list they said. I know that's not your doing, Housing Authority, and I don't know what kind of input that you had, Barbara, with the hopes with the food pantry. With respect to the food pantry, I've learned that Tony Tamaranzi's not here right now or whatever, but I'm asking for open and fair treatment with the food pantries. Give us fresh food that's not outdated, and let us go in and utilize the pantry too. Will not wait. It makes me want to cry when I see these seniors out here on these long lines, the food all picked over, half of them don't even get food, and the way it's ran. Try to find a better operation where they could go in there like they shopping and utilize the pantry. Eviction. I'm glad you're working, thank you too, Frank, with that evictions. I'm glad you're working with the tenants. People do fall through hardships. When you do them intake forms, Pat Waiters is there, you know, and I'm very fair. I don't impose on you guys, and you've been great with the responses with respect to getting back to me. I really appreciate that. And I'm telling you again, I don't need to be a commissioner. I don't need to get none of these seats, because you already see for 37 years they ain't gonna give it to me. But that didn't stop Pat Waiters. I do what I do because I want to serve my community. And I'm not gonna let nobody dictate that and dictate who I'm gonna serve, because I'm not political. I'm a people's person, not a politician, or I would have been sitting there. Real quick. Politically recruited. I'm wrapping it up now because I'm finished. I'm said it again. I'm here to serve the people, not the politicians. Yes, most of you that seen the meeting on Wednesday, I got very emotional. And I was accused, and my council, 4th Ward council member, Ruben Ramos, was accused with the mayor by we dropping public information that was supposed to be private, which was the newcomer, Mr. Matthews. Hi, and I know you heard a lot about me, okay? And I have a serious question for you. What are you doing in Housing Authority, and are you ready to serve these tenants and residents?
You don't do that.
No, not yet. I don't want back and forth. I can get to respond later, okay? But it's far too many years, I keep saying this, and I'm seeing them recruit people. They don't even want to be here. They go and recruit people to make it political. I'm telling you this, but the election was huge, and it was messed up on the backs of these innocent, vulnerable people. I'm saying this to you. I don't know who you are, but you're going to see a lot of me, and I address this board in its entirety because this town is very vulnerable. And my defenses go up very high when they just randomly get somebody that's not from Hoboken talking about they want to serve on the committee. It breaks my heart. Okay? So I'm telling these tenants that's watching this, we got to start coming out. Because we care about each other. We can't depend on nobody that's politically appointed to take care of us. Okay? So come and serve, but serve with integrity. That's what I ask you. Thank you, guys.
That's right.
And you better have your tub tomorrow.
Director. So, as a resident, I have a few things too that I'd like to talk about. One of the things that I'd like to talk about are the charges, and I agree with what the residents are saying. They are being charged for things that are wear and tear. We sit here month after month and tell everybody that our buildings are falling apart, that our windows are falling apart, that our buildings are full of mold. And then when they come to our house to fix, we have to pay for them to fix it. That's an issue. And I have to agree with them at that point, because we can't say we're falling apart, but you still have to pay for what's falling apart. It doesn't work that way. So, I don't know how we, as a board, could maybe come together, review this, review what's going on. I absolutely understand charging if we have brand new buildings and people are deteriorating them and messing them up. I agree with that. But I do not agree with us preaching our buildings are falling apart and we're charging residents for things that need to be corrected in their home.
Thank you.
So that's one of my concerns. I think I'm sorry, as they were talking. Oh, yes, that's right. Nan McKay. Every month we sit here and we hear the same thing. We've submitted information, we've submitted information, we've submitted information. I personally can tell you that we have residents that come to my agency 5 or 6 times to submit information for us. And they come with a letter to cease, and half of these are seniors, and they're upset, they're worried, they think they're being evicted. It's not fair, it's not right. And I agree, where is the paperwork going? If it's being uploaded properly and it's sent to them, then what is the problem that they have to continuously submit them again? Where is the disconnect? And if there is a disconnect, if there's a number where they can contact the person and speak to them, I think it would make them a little bit more comfortable. Half of all our residents, no one here knows who's handling that paperwork. All we know is that an agency that was hired by the Housing Authority is accepting that paperwork. So I agree with the tenants when they are concerned that their personal identifiable information is being lost because they're getting letters saying that they didn't receive it, but they have proof that it was submitted. So it's lost somewhere in between. So I think as a board, we need to go back to the contractor and we need to find out what is happening. What is the disconnect? What is it? We have to have a better communication with the residents, because right now, as Ms. Lassane said, she's upset. She has every right to. She's probably thinking, I'm going into surgery and I'm going to get evicted. And seniors, they are terrified at anything you say to them when it comes to eviction. So I think our goal, obviously, was to have a better process with the whole certification thing. But I think we do really need to reevaluate. We are paying a lot of money for the service, and for us to sit here every month and hear the same complaint that the paper is not being received, that the tenants are receiving letter after letter after letter. Certain tenants can take it as harassment. I'm just saying, it's just, you're consistently, if you're sending it and you're still sending me the letter, what is happening? So I think, Director and the board, I don't know if you agree with me, but I think that we need to go back to the contractor, find out what's happening and where the disconnect is, because this has to be resolved. We can't continue this for a whole year and have our residents sit here month after month worried that they're going to be evicted because of it. So, I think that's all I had to say, and this is from a personal, I'm not talking as a commissioner, I'm talking about as a resident. I also agree about the dogs. The dogs are a problem.
Yes.
The dogs, not only, I agree with Ms. Walker when she said that we have children walking these big dogs. We see it. I know you guys see it. Something has to be done. Literally half these kids can't handle those dogs. So if the dog decides to attack someone, you're getting attacked because that child is not going to be able to control that dog. That is an issue. We continuously have the issue of neighbors that do not live in the housing authority bringing their dogs to our place to use the bathroom and do whatever, and no one cleans it, and they walk away as if it's okay. Yet if we did it on their property, we would be the bad ones. And I can tell you firsthand because it happens every morning by my back window. And it's not fair. You do have the people who have dogs and take care of them and are responsible, and that's fine. But when we have dogs that are vicious, that are not being controlled properly, we need to be we have to do a better job. We do, because the last thing I want to come here and hear is that a child has been mauled by a dog that we did nothing about. So, I think that's all I have to say. I don't know, Commissioner, if you have anything resident-wise?
No, but the Mary Kay has to do something about it. Larry, whatever I need.
We know what you meant. I will work on this.
Okay. Thank you very much,
I'll report back to you.
Director. So that's all I had to say about public portion and residents.
Madam Chair, I would like to say something as well.
Yes, Commissioner Vega, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I agree with Madam, what she's talking about as far as everything with, I think these letters, I think the tenants, even though it might cost a little bit more, perhaps they should send it certified to make sure that they don't have to repeat themselves, sending this information. And it's true, that we need to find out who's getting it, because this information is very private, and we don't want no one to steal the identity of another person. And another issue is that, you know, Fox Hill's not done. I'm gonna speak for Fox Hill, because that's where I reside right now. Fox Hill's not done. There's apartments that need to be fixed, for a fact. I myself, my balcony, as I go out, the wall, it's chipping. I mean, it's falling apart, and that has to be repaired. So there's things that have to be done. It's not really completed, but it's awful that you have tenants that pay, you know, and I know it goes like the income, but people do pay rent, and they want to be treated as tenants that are respected. And the courtesy that we have to give them back. They're seniors. I'm a senior. I'm always gonna be an advocate. As an advocate, I'm speaking as an advocate that seniors, they're terrified, like Madam Chair was saying, they're terrified. They come and speak to me because they know me for a very long time. And they're afraid sometimes. And I said, no, you have to, you know, take control and speak up. You have to speak up. And if you can't, then I'll go with you if need to. So we have to be sensitive to the seniors, because we don't want them to be afraid or to worry, you know, thinking they're gonna get evicted, which is true. Some of them may think they're gonna get evicted. They get a letter, and they don't know what to do with it. And thank God that some of us help them read it and explain it to them. But another thing is that it's true, this information, it used to be easier when the managers used to do the rent and lease and all that. So this company, whoever they are, this agency, we don't have no information on them. I think that we have the right to know who they are, how they're getting the information. They should have someone from that place come down here and speak with the tenants and tell the tenant specifically how they're dealing with their information. What are they doing with it? How they're processing it. Once it's processed, where they're putting that information. It's the right of the tenant to know and have knowledge of what's going on with their information. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Vega. Thank you.
And congratulations to you, madam, that you were, again, you're with us. Erica, David, very happy. I would like to welcome Matthew, is his name? Matthew?
Correct. Yes.
Matthew, welcome aboard. You're gonna have a good time here, a lot of good things that we need to push forward, and that's what I have to say. I'll see you soon. For the next meeting, I'll be in person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So moving forward with the resolution. Motion to close public portion. You don't, right?
Yeah, you don't need it.
Resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to approve the meeting minutes for April 9th, 2026 monthly board meeting.
Motion. Second.
Commissioner Vega, can you mute yourself? I'm sorry.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Just to be clear, Madam Chair, because I don't see the number on here, this would be 2026-05.0.
2020, okay, resolution number 2026-0501 of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to approve the meeting minutes for the April 9th, 2026 monthly board.
And there's been a motion in a second, that's sufficient.
Are there any questions or concerns? Director, call the vote.
David Edwards? Yes. Anthony Forbes?
Yes.
Barbara Reyes?
Yes.
Jean Rodriguez?
Yes.
Lee Seitzman?
Yes.
Matthew Testa? Yes. C. Vega?
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the payment of monthly list of bills for the Hoboken Housing Authority.
Motion. Second.
Questions, concerns? Yes, I did. I'm trying to figure out where I moved it. I just had, okay, yes. So I had three things. The Southwest Hoboken neighbors.
Number 40.
And I'm sorry, I'm looking at it like this because I signed the checks. So when I had,
I'm just helping you.
Yeah.
It's number 40 in the first two.
that, so there's three. I'm just gonna say the three of them. The other one is Tri-State Rentals and Work and Company. What are those bills?
Come on up. I'll jump in as needed.
The first one, you mentioned Southwest Hoboken Neighbors is a donation to this organization that puts together the Southwest Festival. Tri-State Rentals is for the purchase of a utility vehicle. It's one of those Kubotas that the authority had previously sought authorization for, and this is the payment we received last month. And then Worth and Company is boiler maintenance. So that was a slew of service calls throughout probably the end of February and into March for boiler repairs across the authority.
So boiler repairs that are repair maintenance for us?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay. Director, I have one question, and I know that we are good neighbors, and we try to be good neighbors. I think you have a pretty good idea of what I'm gonna ask as far as the Southwest Festival. If you remember at our security meeting, we were told that they were planning or thinking of having a beer garden.
Yes.
And that is a concern to me. First of all, I don't think that that's a good idea to have. I think we all know what happens when alcohol is involved. And I also think it's hypocritical for us to have a ban on drinking alcohol in public and then allowing a festival to happen and have a beer garden. Yeah, I'm just concerned about what our money is going to go towards.
And what I would suggest is that maybe you recommend that I hold that until we get a firm answer.
That's correct. I mean,
And I'll be glad to do that.
I really would like that, only because that's a serious concern for me. I'm all for supporting it. I think it's an amazing, and it has been an amazing festival in the past. It brought the community together, not just the housing authority, but our neighbors. But I think including alcohol is not the best idea.
And as I said at the meeting, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yes. So if we could follow up with that and get an
But who's running the beer garden? Who's proposed to run the beer garden?
It's the city is
sponsored.
Yeah, it's being sponsored by this. I can't remember the organization's name. The entire Southwest Festival is being sponsored by that group, so they are organizing it, and we've been a partner in helping with some dollars, and as well as a little bit of cleanup help after that's in front. The festival is actually being held along Jackson, not on our property. Yeah, on 2nd to 4th, but it benefits our residents quite a bit. It's been a real benefit over the past 4 years. And this is the first time we've come across that they've proposed that a beer garden be part of that festival.
And I'm all in favor of the festival. I'm going one step further. So what if they say, no, we're going to have the beer garden anyways? Do we not get the money? Do we, I guess, cross that bridge when we come to it? But I mean, what role do we have other than not giving the money to prevent this?
There are two roles we can do that. We can not pay the money, and we can not co-sponsor or be part of that event. Now, we're going to have the event. It's going to be right outside our buildings. It's going to be along Jackson Street. That would be at least somewhat difficult. But I think it would make a statement if we did say, no, we're not going to be part of this because you're having alcohol service.
And is there anything where the city has to get an alcohol license or
They're
something?
working on it.
Yeah, they're working on it.
So there's pressure of the city not to give the license as well.
And by the way, the chief is really against having this happen. So the chief's in our league and working on trying to stem it off at the city's side.
And just so you know, you asked who was sponsoring it. The person that's sponsoring it is the same individual who sponsored the 4th of July on Pier 8 when they had an event.
The Lake Group, Cat Lake Group.
I believe, I don't know, but that's who they said was going to sponsor it.
So I guess we go ahead.
I don't care who sponsors it, I just don't want it to be there.
Yeah. Me too.
So I guess are we making a resolution, or we're just asking it, withdrawing it from this list of bills, or what are we doing here?
Can we withhold it until you get further?
Well, we certainly can take it out of the list of bills, right? So now, we're not going to meet until after the event.
Oh, okay.
Right? So it's June 6th. So my recommendation was to approve it as part of the list of bills with the understanding that I would hold that check, and if the beer garden goes ahead, that I would just never issue the check. Okay. And come back to you in June at the meeting and say we've never issued the check.
And for that. Are you guys okay with that?
And if I may, Director, that's what I was going to recommend. You essentially have 3 courses of action. One, leave it in with no conditions. At that point, you'd be authorizing it, and you may be on the hook for it. The other would be to remove it altogether, and that was my question with the timing here, and I think you just answered that. And the third would be put a condition on it. You could have a motion, as long as there's a second, you could vote to have that payment be conditioned upon whatever you want to condition upon. The fact that there not be a beer garden included in it, in which case if there was, the housing authority would not make that payment.
I like that one.
Yep.
Could you put it together? So that we can vote on it, or how would we?
Sure, it sounds like, I mean, essentially what I just said, that a motion is being proposed, and I'll leave it up to you who actually makes that motion, that this item, payment of this item, which is number 40 on the list of bills, be conditioned upon confirmation from the Southwest Hoboken neighbors, which is where the donation is going, that the event will not include a beer garden. And if it does, that payment would not be made.
I might just expand that to the serving or availability of
Sure.
alcohol during the event, rather than just.
Sure, sure. So, is there a motion?
A motion?
Second.
So I would vote on the amendment to that item, and then if there's further discussion, you can have it. If not, you could have a vote on the list of bills as a whole, as amended.
Motion to vote on the amendment.
So there's a motion and a second for the amendment. So now, unless there's discussion on the amendment, you can hold the vote on that amendment.
Correct. So can we hold the vote on that amendment?
Was there been a first and second?
Yes.
Yes. Eric.
So, the vote.
Yes.
D. Edwards.
Yes.
A. Forbes.
Yes.
B. Reyes.
Yes.
J. Rodriguez.
Yes.
E. Seitzman.
Yes.
M. Testa.
Yes.
C. Vega.
Yes.
So now, the matter before would be a vote on the list of bills as amended.
Okay. So a vote on the list of bills.
So there's
as
already been a
amended.
motion and a second on the list of bills. We've made the amendment, so now you can take a vote
Regular vote.
just on that, the list of bills as amended.
Okay. Do we have any further questions though on the list of bills or no? No? Okay. Okay, so could you call the vote for the list of bills as amended?
Sure. Is there a motion and a second?
Yes.
already?
Yes.
Thank you. D. Edwards.
Yes.
A. Forbes.
Yes.
B. Reyes.
Yes.
J. Rodriguez.
Yes.
E. Seitzman.
Yes.
M. Testa.
Yes.
C. Vega. Thank you all.
Yes.
Resolution number 2026-0503, a resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to award a contract for glass and window repair replacement.
Motion. Second.
I have a question. Is this throughout the entire Housing Authority?
Yes. Yes. This is, we've been doing ad hoc purchase orders with a couple companies and looking not to go over our bidding limit. And it's been causing issues because we get to a bidding limit with one company and then we've got to stop using them. We can't go over 17,500 without a public bid. So we stop using them, we got to find another company, it just doesn't make any sense. So as we've done with other services, bathtubs, it's what we're doing with the walk-in showers. We bid it out now ahead of time, we've got a firm price per hour, and then when we come across a window that needs glass or metal repair, we can just turn to them for the pre-approved amount up to $42,000. So it's a not to exceed.
Okay. That was my question. Director, you can talk about it?
Sure will. D. Edwards?
Yes.
A. Forbes?
Yes.
B. Reyes?
Yes.
J. Rodriguez?
Yes.
E. Seitzman?
Yes.
M. Testa? C. Vega?
Yes.
Resolution number 2026-0504, resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to increase the amount of the contract for the maintenance and servicing of boilers and associated mechanical.
Motion. Second.
And I would like in my responsive discussion to this to kind of refer over to,
Mr. Solan's question.
and Manny's question on that is this is a one-time. We are at almost the end of the contract year on boilers. It's getting warm out there, right? They should within a week or so be shut down for the summer. What we have experienced over the winter is a tough winter, and our base contract with this company, we've used almost all of the money in that base contract. And over the summer, we go in and do boiler repair, we get it ready for the next season. So in talking to that contractor, we said, well, we're almost past our limit, we don't want to run into a problem and not be able to do the repairs and get ready for the next winter season. So we're asking to increase this contract that was originally for $246,000 by $29,700 to make sure that we can get through all the repairs to prepare for the next heating season. Are we rebidding? Yeah.
Everything you said, agreed. So the contract has billed through March of this year, so there's still invoices that are pending that are come in for April and this month. There's about $22,000 left in the labor allowance of the contract, so the change order request is to increase the labor allowance by about 180 hours, and that would bring us to the contract term end, which is August 31st. If those additional labor hours are not needed, they will not be paid.
The labor hours you're talking about are the 29,700?
Yes, so the $29,700 is based on their hourly rate of $165 an hour. And so the 29.7 increases it by 180 hours.
But is it work actually done or work anticipated to be done?
Anticipated to be done.
But you just said they've already done their work in March and April. I'm sorry,
Yeah, so
I missed the sentence here.
So the list of bills paid them through March.
Okay.
And based on that, there was about $20,000 left in their labor allowance for this contract.
Okay.
And in addition to that, we're seeking to increase the contract by an additional 180 hours.
And they've been working since the end of March, right? So that continues to accrue, right? So when their invoice comes in, we need to make sure through next August, we need to make sure there's enough money in that to cover those hours.
Through next August or this?
No, this August.
This August. This coming August.
So some of this 29's already been worked, right? Part of this 29,000 they've already paid.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because we've still got money left in the original contract.
The original contract has $22,000 for about 140 hours.
So why do we have an overage if there's money left?
It is, in the event there is an overage. There currently is not an overage.
We think we're gonna use that 22,000 that's left.
Plus 29,700. So
Quite
total-
possibly.
So potentially 50,000. So it's a 29,000 change order with $50,000 worth of work projected to be done.
Possibly, yes. Yes.
And I just have one question, if I have this correct. This is a not to exceed.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And is this part of this, you approved like 6 boilers? It's a huge, or is that the next one?
This is the maintenance contract.
This is the maintenance contract.
Okay, those, okay. Yes, all right, thank you.
Any further questions? Director, call the vote.
D. Edwards?
Yes.
A. Forbes?
Yes.
B. Reyes?
Yes.
J. Rodriguez?
Yes.
E. Seitzman?
Yes.
M. Testa?
Yes.
C. Vega?
Carmen, you're muted. We have a quorum, I guess we can move forward. Resolution number 2026-0505, a resolution of the House Authority of the City of Hoboken to increase the amount of contract for boiler replacements at Andrew Jackson and Harrison Gardens.
Motion.
Second.
So this is back to the boiler replacement of those. And I think I know the answer, but Emil works with it he works with it every day, and now he's hiding from me. Where'd he go? There you go.
So the background on this one is, yes, this contract is to replace 7 boilers between Jackson and Harrison. Harrison 320 Jackson has been replaced. The remaining 6 at Andrew Jackson, when they started to do the first boiler 300, they realized that the pad needed to be replaced. That wasn't included in the contract. So the change order is based on the cost of replacing one of the pads for $3,000. However, it's assuming that the remaining 5 also have to be replaced. As of right now, it's not determined, but this is a not to exceed again for replacing the remaining 6 pads.
And this wasn't the contract that already went 20% over? Is that contract? That was a different contract. There was one where you had a change order. Okay, it's not the same one, so it's confusing. All right, yeah, no, I'm fine, I don't have any questions.
Director Colobo?
D. Edwards?
Yes.
A. Forbes?
Yes.
B. Reyes?
Yes.
J. Rodriguez?
Yes.
E. Seitzman?
Yes.
M. Testa?
Yes.
C. Vega? How many with us, Ken?
I think she's with us, she's just reading the part in here. Resolution number 2026-0506, a resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to adopt a new defined trespass and ban policy.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
She's a lot.
Well, the question was, will this be part of leases?
Yes.
Yes, it will. This will be distributed to all residents, and it will also be in re-examination packets as we re-examine income every course of the year. We will have folks sign off that they received it, that they understand that this policy is there. We will be getting it to all residents. We will be posting it at all management locations.
And on the website.
Absolutely.
And if I could add something, these are relatively minor changes to an existing policy. This is not a whole new policy. It's a policy that has been in place for 10 years or so. It's been on the authority website. These are some changes to it to clean a few things up. Things that the police encountered, things that the authority encountered, and it's just updating it.
And just so you guys know, this was discussed in length at our security committee meeting. I think it's important for us to have it. I don't know, Director, I know that you said, I know this was a question too, is will they get a list of the individuals? And I thought we discussed it being in the newsletter, correct?
We'll have a list of individuals that will go up in every management office, the individuals that are banned, and we will make that distributed on a regular basis to all residents so that they know, as a resident, you know that name's on the list. Because if somebody that's on the ban list, if you're allowing them to come to your apartment, that could be a lease violation. Actually, would be a lease violation. So we want you to know who's on that ban list. We want to be cognizant throughout the housing authority of the people that have been banned from our property.
And it will be updated regularly, and residents would get it quarterly.
That's good.
And we have discussed this, but it can also be made available upon request. If at any time between those distributions, anybody wants to know, they can always go to their manager and ask for it.
I don't have any questions or concerns. Anyone else does? Call the vote?
D. Edwards? Yes. A. Forbes?
Yes.
B. Reyes?
Yes.
J. Rodriguez?
Yes.
E. Seitzman?
Yes.
M. Testa?
Yes.
C. Vega?
Yes.
I asked, where did you really get this animal? I laughed.
Chipmunks there?
That would conclude our meeting and our
That
resolution.
would, because we're, yes.
Does anybody have anything that they would like to bring up in new business?
It came up in residents' survey. Can we start collecting rent payments electronically? Has that been looked at?
Yeah.
I've had residents ask me about it.
I agree, and I really want to push that issue. I know we've had a problem with coming to an agreement with the bank. And or Matt, I don't, have you been involved or was it
I
just your
have not,
father?
yeah.
Okay.
We have looked at it, but it's something that we have to revisit.
Yeah, I will say, let me say this right now. I'm a huge advocate. I'm gonna push everyone to make this happen. There's no reason we shouldn't be accepting electronic and digital payments.
Director, I think if I remember correctly, it was about a year and a half ago, the Resident Services Committee and the Finance Committee talked about this because it's been coming up and like Emil said, Emil did go to our banks and we did do some initial research and then we had to do some homework on our side and some of the homework with all the other homework was just pushed back to the corner, but we did look into this and we will look into it again. It's just at that time, it was just impossible.
I'll refresh that look and see where we were at, and then there was some legal issue with the contract, but let me not talk.
Yeah. And I'll put it on the
Off the
finance
head.
committee agenda.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right?
Thank you.
So, motion to adjourn? All in favor? Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Appreciate you.